Alex Stein.
Wow, what a pleasure, Carl. I have to say, it's an honor to be here. I know you are an internet legend. You've been doing this a lot longer than me. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You are a legend on the internet, and I want to follow in your footsteps, and it's an honor and a privilege, if I can even speak. So I won't kiss your butt too much, but thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on. Alex, do you like food?
Of course, I mean, duh, who doesn't like food? Food is my life. I'm a big fat Texan, so all I do is eat food. Buffet style food is my favorite, but you know what I'm worried about though? Are the upcoming food shortages. Have you ever thought about that? That is
something that's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, here in America, you know, I don't know about you, Carl, but I am a proud tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. I've been right about a lot of stuff about the pandemic, but my point is, you hear constantly on the media, it's like, another chicken factory caught on fire, another, agriculture center caught on fire. You're like, well, how is so many of these catching on fire in 6 months?
Yeah, it is something that makes you think, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, I mean, like I said, it makes my antennas stick straight up.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, it's entirely likely that soon you'll have to get used to not enjoying food.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they make a pill, don't they want that? Isn't that what they want? Soylent Green? That's what I'm saying. They want like Soylent Green, and then you're eating humans. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, it's going to get worse than that. But we'll explain why in a minute. But before we do, if you want to support us, go sign up to LoadSeats.com and watch Brokenomics. Why you're not going to be able to buy food in the near future because your money is going to be utterly worthless. Brilliant series by Dan. I've been learning a lot from it because I don't know anything about economics, but he clearly explains why everything's effed. Anyway, let's begin with the vegans, right? Because all of these practical concerns are real-world things that might be overcome. But have you considered there are moral arguments as to why you shouldn't eat food? Anything with a face, I don't taste. Anything with an eye or two, I don't chew. Anything with a mouth stays out of my mouth. It's an interesting statement from Will I Am, American rapper.
Yes, from the Black Eyed Peas. Very familiar with it.
Vegan intellectual. But one thing he's left out there is that allows us to eat eggs. We can still eat eggs.
Yeah, yes.
Brilliant. I love eggs.
Eggs are my life. Yeah,
shame, unfortunately, we're getting to an egg shortage, isn't it?
Well, and then they cost $7 a dozen now in America, and they were literally 99 cents before Joe Biden was president. Not that Joe Biden's all the cause of this. I think it's almost.
No. Let's. I'm putting on the tinfoil hat. Let's blame Joe Biden.
Okay, yeah, it's Joe's fault. I mean, they definitely don't want to. Like you said, the buying power, the value of our money, the inflation. It's going to be now all of these private companies like BlackRock that are buying the houses, and then you see China is buying most of the real estate in America for a foreign country. They're artificially inflating the value of property in America, so you can't even afford to buy a house. So I'm saying already you can't buy a house. So people are like, oh, I'll just rent, and that's been in place for
Oh, that's good news, isn't it? I'll just be a renter my entire life. Why wouldn't I want that? That would be brilliant. What a great solution.
Oh, so good. I'll just constantly pay, rent, and I'll own nothing, and I'll be happy, just like Klaus Schwab said. But my point is now that inflation, that housing market's coming to everything. It's coming to freaking eggs. I mean, now eggs, there's literally, you've seen the memes where people are egg dealers, or they have like a grandma with a Glock and stacks of cash next to eggs, and it just makes you laugh. But that's kind of my humor. It's like this sad reality that it's really the case. These eggs are like crack. They're so expensive now.
Well, unironically, that is actually true, right? So in Britain, we'll get to America in a minute. In Britain, basically the problems are the lack of the lack of feed for chickens because of the lockdowns, and of course the increased costs of energy because of the Ukraine war, and the general heightening of the prices of everything is creating a kind of perfect storm. And then add to that, there's been an outbreak of avian flu, presumably not from China, although I don't know.
Yeah, let me tell what kind of freaking manufactured avian flu is that? I mean, I don't want to get this kicked off YouTube, but did you just see the Project Veritas leak where they were talking? I mean, they're talking to the guy.
We can't talk about it.
I know, we can't. I know. We just want to say, it's safe and effective. Everything's great. Love you, Pfizer. Thank you for being so good. Moderna, you are the best company ever. All the executives that work there, you guys are great American citizens.
We're being vaccinated as we speak.
Yeah, I just got my booster in the alley from some guy. It was great. He offered me some fentanyl too to ease the pain after. It was actually quite a good transaction.
But the point is, we've actually started rationing eggs in this country now, like we're fighting the goddamn Germans.
Wait, what do you mean? You're telling me that you can't even go to the grocery store and buy more than 1 dozen?
This was back in November. In Asda, there were 2 boxes of eggs per shopper. I don't know whether it was 6 eggs or 12 eggs. 24 eggs, maybe it'd last me, but come on. Tesco, no more than 3 boxes. Morrison's, 2-box limit. This is crazy. This is 2023. Well, this was 2022, but Anyway, let's go to New Zealand, where this is a worldwide egg crisis. Did you know this?
Yo, yeah, no.
Worldwide.
No, I know this, and it doesn't make sense because anybody can get a chicken and it's going to poop out 1 billion eggs. I'm saying
Hang on, we'll get to that, right? Because no, you're not allowed to just get a chicken.
No.
Because that's you owning something.
Yeah.
Right, so in New Zealand, it wasn't that there's this avian flu or the price of seed or anything like that. In New Zealand, it was the woke government were like, yeah, so we're going to ban battery farming. And everyone was like, okay, but isn't that going to massively increase the cost of eggs? And they were like, yes, deal with it.
So what?
Yeah, exactly. And so essentially that means that people are like, well, hang on a second, I can just buy a chicken, can't I? Don't eggs come from chickens? And the New Zealand government were like, no, don't do that. Actually, no, it's a charity.
Please don't get a chicken.
Yeah.
New Zealand egg shortage sparks scramble for poultry. Wait, what?
Don't get a chicken. I understand that it seems like a good idea, but please don't get a chicken unless you can look after it long term. What do you mean long term? I'm going to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, what the heck do they care about his freaking chicken? That's the thing, is the media will actually act. They'll write stuff having more empathy for a chicken that's going to feed you than their own freaking people they're writing about. They don't care. Like, let's say if you're not vaccinated, they don't care if you die, but if you have a chicken that's giving you eggs and food, you better take care of that chicken. You better live forever.
Well, you might be surprised to discover that the birds could live for a decade or longer, might produce eggs for only their first 2 or 3 years. It's like, it's not going to live a decade or longer if it only produces eggs for 2 or 3 years because you can eat chickens.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll stop laying eggs, just eat it.
Yeah, it's kind of... Well, like I said, dude, this is my problem, is I'm so anti-establishment. The government is so dumb and dysfunctional. Any advice that you get from an official media source or official government source, do the opposite. And I know that sounds anecdotal, but literally, I could probably do that.
This is not like medical or financial advice.
No, this is not medical or financial. Do not take my advice. I'm insane. I'm not a role model. I'm like Charles Barkley in the 80s. Do not follow my lead because we're going to a dark corner where they're giving free vaccines and fentanyl. But my point is that we live in this world now where it's not even about having freedom. It's about control.
It's about owning your own chicken farm. Tim Pool's just ahead of the curve.
And Tim's dominating with those chickens. He's got more eggs than he can need.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You know, he's cornered the chicken market.
Yes, no, and I love Tim for that.
Yeah.
He had the foresight because he had Chicken City before the chicken shortage. What
Exactly.
a lucky SOB. I love Tim.
No one knew. How did Tim know?
Does he have inside information? Tinfoil hat. I'm texting Tim after the show. What inside knowledge did you have, Tim, about the upcoming egg shortages?
Anyway, according to the American government, which is the most reliable source of any information, the reduction in eggs is because of avian flu, which has killed more than 43 million egg-laying hens in 2022. 43 million chickens
You don't
died.
hear about this. I had no idea that 43 million chickens died. Wait, what?
I was quite surprised. It sounds like a lot. I don't know, maybe. But the thing is, of course, we've got to make sure that we don't think it's Bill Gates that's behind this. Because otherwise people like us might think it was Bill Gates. No.
See, but Carl, if it ever says that, PolitiFact, false, you might as well just believe the dog said it. It might as well just be true, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely dig into it. I mean, Gates might happen to be the single largest owner of farmland in the United States, but that's actually only a very small amount of land in the United States. So, okay, that's true. And they do say, look, I love this pro-Gates propaganda. Gates appears to be pro-chicken farming. In 2016, he wrote on his blog about the benefits of raising chickens. Well, maybe he should speak to the New Zealanders. Explain to them, no, look, it's good if people raise their own chickens.
You know, it just bugs me too because he's the one that talks about climate change, and there's the clips. Once again, we have to get conspiratorial talking about how they need to reduce the population by 15%. He said
That's only because they keep going in front of cameras and saying it.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm repeating it. But my point is why is Bill Gates now? He's the number one source for every bit of information. I'm just saying, science, technology, food. It's all Bill Gates.
Why the nerdy computer programmer? What does he know about all of this?
And the scam behind that. So how it works was IBM was making the hardware for the computers, and they had the foresight then, whether it was the CIA or FBI or whatever, I don't know. They knew that if they made the software as well, that they would have a monopoly. Yeah. So basically, Bill Gates stole this operating software from another engineer.
He didn't steal it, he bought it.
For very cheap, for like nothing, and then he got paid billions of dollars for it.
He did, because he got IBM to package it with their computers.
Exactly. So my point is, he was basically selected to be the richest man.
And the thing is, anyone who's used Windows will know it's crap.
It's shit.
So, anyway, so the point being is that it's becoming well aware that we're coming into a food supply crisis. The National Farmers Union in Britain have called on the government to step in and assist primary producers under severe strain from soaring fuel, fertilizer and feed costs, all a consequence of lockdowns and the war in Ukraine. Brilliant.
Well, did you see the new food chart in America where they ranked foods and now they the Great Britain has a crazy one too where they say carbohydrates are the main thing, but
Just
they
eat your seed oils.
But exactly right. That's what they want to do. But they even said that synthetic
Corn
eggs.
syrup should be 90% of your diet.
But dude, Carl, I'm dead serious.
Well, they actually say
no, not that. I mean, but the corn syrups and everything.
Yeah,
I'm saying literally, it said that synthetic eggs are better than regular eggs. How is that possible? That's what it said. They said synthetic eggs are healthier than a regular egg. I'm like, how? That doesn't even make sense.
And the thing is, have they considered that perhaps synthetic eggs, which I assume are made from plants, are evil?
Yeah, well, I don't know. But
No, we're going to get to this, right? Because we're not allowed to even eat the plants.
Oh, they feel pain?
Oh, yes. Plants now feel... I mean, PETA have been raising this issue, valiantly defending plant rights, right? They say the simple fact is that we don't know whether plants can feel pain. Do you think plants feel pain?
You know what? Yeah, they do. They feel it all because I feel my plants. I know that I talk to them. They grow stronger. I mean, they have... Yeah, my plants are actually, pretty smart and pretty dialed in. So, yeah, I'd imagine if I cut them, they would be...
My plants are on the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. My plants have a Twitter. My plants have a Twitter account. So, yeah, if I cut them, yeah, they're going to feel pain. Obviously not! Obviously a plant... But I did watch this one... Well, I saw this one thing, though, is this guy who's, pushing the carnivore diet, and he said this thing, because I like veggies, even though I'm a hefty man. Everybody, who doesn't like a salad occasionally, right? Who doesn't need a little lettuce on your cheeseburger? But my point is, he said that vegetables actually have chemicals in them that are self-defense chemicals, and as part of the vegetables we shouldn't eat that actually make humans sick, and people don't even realize they have gas.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great clip. But see, you watch something on Instagram, you're like, is this real? Is this fake? But he said that a lot of people eat so many vegetables, they have gastrointestinal problems because of the chemicals that are their self-defense mechanism. So
I had no idea.
I mean, you learn something new every day.
I've just been radicalized to get seed oils. But
trees cut through rock. They have an enzyme excrete and literally soften rock. Mother Nature is claiming.
No, scientists have found that plants actually do feel pain. For years, scientists are baffled about whether the question plants can feel pain or not. And so a team of scientists from Tel Aviv University may have an answer to that question. Apparently, plants emit a high-frequency distress sound when in environmental stress. In both cases, the scientists found that plants began to emit ultrasonic sounds that they believed could convey their distress to other organisms and plants within the vicinity. When the stem of a tomato plant was cut, the researchers found it emitted 25 ultrasonic distress sounds over the course of an hour.
So it's yelling.
So it's literally screaming.
Yelling.
It's screaming because they're eating me.
This is the world that we live in. They're saying tomatoes are screaming. Give me a break.
So your vegetables that you're piling on your burger are screaming in pain, and it turns out they might be planning to escape because it turns out plants are intelligent. In 2013, The New Yorker published an article that introduced the world to the idea that plants may not be the benign organisms we thought they were, but could exhibit intelligent behavior. Fast forward to 2019, and now there are dozens of research papers, hundreds of articles, and hours of videos published by plant biologists and neurobiologists discussing the many facets of plant intelligence. Right? Hang on. Through rigorous research and experimentation, the following behavioral characteristics have now been established and can be attributed to plants: communication, learning, problem-solving, memory, and memory recall.
A plant has memory now. Wow.
Problem-solving ability.
Yeah, it's just doing math. It's sitting there doing algebra. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And that's another problem is that all the academics in this world, they fund these studies. This is probably like Yale or Harvard or something.
It's probably government funded.
Or whatever, even though a lot of those freaking colleges are all in bed with the government. So it's like, dude, I don't even trust any of these studies. That's why when you do these debates and I debate people and they're like, oh, I got this study, I'm right. I don't trust any study anymore. I mean, none of this stuff makes sense. They'll tell you that literally tomatoes are doing math problems.
Well, I was just explaining to them that my position was revealed to me in a dream. So, where's your study on that? But the point of all of this, though, is, okay, so we can't eat animals because they feel pain and they're intelligent. And now we can't eat plants and they feel pain and they're intelligent. So one progressive Guardian writer asks, well, should we stop eating plants?
Yeah, we should. We shouldn't really eat anything, honestly. I don't know what. I mean, mayonnaise. Does mayonnaise have plants in it?
No, it's got eggs in it.
Oh, gosh, I can't eat mayonnaise. Okay, we'll just eat mustard then. I hope mustard is...
That's a plant.
Oh, yeah, mustard seed. What the hell? What can we eat? There's nothing we can eat. I mean...
Everything we eat comes from living organisms.
Yeah, I don't know.